Welcome back to the Giant Monster Games Advent Calendar for 2017, where I go and play all of the decks that have been on the channel, going from the least popular to the most popular. We are now on deck number 9, which means we are in the area of these decks aren't that popular, but it's okay. It's okay popular. So today is Izzet Delver. So Izzet Delver, for those people that don't know, Izzet is blue and red combination colors, so you're playing against a blue and red deck, and Delver of Secrets and Young Pyromancer are two key components to this deck, because Delver of Secrets, as you might be able to guess, is where the deck actually gets its name from. So the deck is revolving around this high value creature, because Delver of Secrets flips into a 2/3 flyer if you have an instant or sorcery on top of your deck. So the point of the deck is to have an instant or sorcery on top of your deck. How do we do that? Well, we have things like Serum Visions and Magma Jet, which allow us to constantly fix the top of our library, hopefully allowing us to flip Delver of Secrets as quick as possible. And if we're not going to flip Delver of Secrets, we're just going to create a bunch of elemental creature tokens as we play instants and sorceries, and hopefully constantly be drawing the cards we actually want, rather than drawing into lands and stuff. If you want to know more about this entire deck, there is, as always, a link up in the top right-hand corner up there where you can go and click, watch the video, watch some gameplay, all that stuff. And if you want to pick this deck up for MTGO, there is also a link below this video where you can do that. Sideboard included, helps the channel out. It allows me to keep making videos just like this one. Okay, let's pass it over to Adrian, who had a very interesting slash story-timey kind of game with this deck. Okay, I want to say something right away, and that is no more Izzet Delver ever jokes. No, that joke has been flogged so much, we're not going to keep this opening hand. Serum Visions is quite good. Well, let's make that number, what, number 5? Number 5, I think we're keeping a one-lander. Don't keep one-lander hands, by the way. Not a very good idea. I'm going to do it because we have Serum Visions. We should be able to draw, because we get to draw and scry too. So we get to look 3 cards deep. Also, by the way, we won the die roll, so we are playing first. So is it our turn? Yes, it is our turn. That joke drives me mental. I'm just so crazy. By the way, as well, this deck here is in tune, or in line, for a tune-up. It's going to be a deck we're going to do the Deck Tech Revisited thing with, because I think... Actually, no, I was going to say I think Opt is better in this deck, but actually it's not. That's not correct. Serum Visions is actually much better in this deck, because... Okay, good. Vapor Snag. I think Vapor Snag can go to the bottom. You get to go to the bottom. Oh, wait, hold on. We drew another island. We need a red source, so you're going to go to the bottom. You're going to go on top. And then we ship it through to our opponent's turn. What was I saying? I was going to say, I thought Opt was actually going to be better than Serum Visions in this deck, but that is completely wrong. Because we're trying to set up Delver of Secrets to flip over. Hey, what's this? Oh, it's the... Whenever you cast instant sorcery spell, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Untap it. Neat. So it's kind of a... It's an aggro creature of sorts. Neat. So it's kind of like it has prowess before prowess was a keyword, because this is from Ravnica, or Return to Ravnica. Boop, Return to Ravnica. So yeah, that's neat. I'm assuming we're playing against like equivalent of a Suicide Boo deck. I'm assuming. I kind of want to bolt this guy before we get too deep, but at the same time, I kind of also want to play Young Pyromancer. Let's just play Young Pyromancer. Young Pyromancer likes to come out. She likes to have a good time, or he likes to have a good time. I think it's a he. But he's obsessed with Chandra, because he's totally dressed like Chandra, but like a boy version of Chandra. I say this because his jacket's open. Come on, no girl. Well, yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, our opponent just said well played that we played a Young Pyromancer. I don't know if they read the card correctly. It's when we play instant sorcery spells, not when anyone plays instant sorcery spells. So maybe we'll see. We'll see what he thinks, or she thinks. We'll see what they think. I'm putting way too many like gender things into this video. I need to stop that right now. It's okay. You can be a guy. You can be a girl. You can. Let's not assume genders here. You can be whatever you want. We're just playing a game. That's the whole point of this video, is to play games of Magic. All I wanted to do was play as a Delver, guys. That's all I wanted. Why has it gotten so complicated? Okay, anyways, going back to the actual game, before I had a small crisis in my own head, what are we gonna do next turn? We can play Electrolyze and split up the bolts, because it can do, what is it? Divide it as you choose amongst 1 or 2 target creatures or players. So we can blow up this guy, hopefully in response to something. If in doubt, we may just next turn, another Young Pyromancer Bolt, have a bunch of elementals. That's always fun. That is an option. We'll see what our opponent decides he wants to do. Actually, no, we can't do both. We'd have to draw another red source. The one downside about playing budget decks is your mana source, or your mana pool, your options for mana, don't always line up with what you actually want to be doing. Which makes me sad, as an individual, as a player of Magic the Gathering. It makes me sad when my mana base doesn't work as well as I want it to. So yeah. I've actually been working on a little spoiler here for those people that are watching every single one of these videos. One of the decks I'm currently working on is a 3-color deck, and I'm trying to make it budget, but it just is not working very well because the deck needs potential access to all 3 colors of mana. It's Jund colors, by the way, for anyone that's interested. So it needs access to all 3 types of mana, potentially on turn 2. So super risky being like, I kind of want to do this, but I also kind of need to do that. And making a mana base where you have access, like if you're playing the like fetch shock combo, it's easy. You can just fetch up what you need. But if you're not, oh neat, Manamorphose. I'm gonna skip through this. But if you're not playing one of those, it's really difficult to like make sure you're getting the consistent mana. Because there's, I would say, when you're playing a 2-color deck, maybe if you have a bad mana base, I would say maybe 1 in 4 to actually probably more like 1 in 10 games. You're gonna completely just be screwed over by your mana base. You didn't draw the right mana, you didn't get the right stuff, and you lost because of that. With a 3-color deck, I would argue it's like 1 in 3 games. You will be just in a really bad spot solely because of not getting the right mana. And I just don't want to put out a 3-color deck that's the problem with it. Well, that's neat. 9 damage to our face. That's pretty fun. Well, we know what we need to do next turn. It's called electrolyze and get rid of this thing. I'm really thinking I probably should have bolted last turn. I didn't, though. But, I mean, with electrolyze, we can bolt this thing, bolt our opponent's face for 1, swing for 2, and have a blocker. Because this thing doesn't have trample, I don't think this gets creatures. No, none of this stuff gives them trample. So let's go like that. Electrolyze, you, and okay. We also got to draw a card off this, which is nice. So maybe we'll draw into a red source. And we don't have to keep shocking ourselves every single time we want to do that. That'd be fun. That would be super fun. Let's see if we draw into mountain. Mountain. Show me a mountain. Coming right up, mountain. Next on the menu, mountain. We don't know. Our opponent is deciding if they can't do anything. They don't have anything to do anything with. So what are you waiting for, opponent? Oh, he might have a mutagenic growth. If he has another mutagenic growth, which he clearly would have used last turn, he can prevent 1 damage. He can make this guy a 3/3. Is it 3/3? Yes, it would become a 4/4 because it would give +2/+2 to it. Plus, it would get +1/+1 from the instant or sorcery spell. This is he's paying. No, he's not paying. He's waiting, thinking. I don't want this turned into another storytime video, okay, guys? I do not want this to be another storytime video. Okay. Opponent does nothing. Okay. So, damage. That's fine. I was scared. I'm like, I didn't prepare any. Oh, we did draw a mountain. Sweet. Nice. Gotta love the mountains. Go to combat, swing for 2. Here you go. Now, if he has a Monastery Swift Spear... Again, we have blockers for days now. Because we have enough instant sorcery spells so we can just keep getting elementals. Get a whole bunch of them. To the point where next turn we can actually play a second Pyromancer and then hold up on Bolt and then get 2 elemental creature tokens. Should be very fun. So I wonder if he's playing a mono-green version of this deck or if it is actually red-blue or red-green. Kiln Fiend. We'll probably just Bolt Kiln Fiend is what will actually happen. Because I don't really want to deal with Kiln Fiend. Because it's not very fun. Not very fun for me. I mean, Kiln Fiend is really good if you're playing the, like, Suicide Boo deck. It's called Suicide Boo as well because there's a lot of damaging stuff. Like, you play Mutagenic Growth, so what you have to pay life for, not its actual mana cost. Ooh. I don't really want to play you right now. I think it's actually going to be Young Pyromancer Lightning Bolt. So red, blue. Oh, don't need a second blue. Good, it untaps it for me. Playing the Young Pyromancer, which is always fun. See if our opponent has a response on that. Probably not. Bolt to the Kiln Fiend. Get rid of the Kiln Fiend. Don't really want to see that. Thank you. No thank you. And I should always set these to always yield. I don't need to be waiting on these things. See if our opponent has a response as well. They do have a single mana up. They could, in theory, have a lightning bolt, but I feel like they would have already played bolt. Because you kind of want to bolt Young Pyromancer. I mean, we're going to get a bunch of more elementals right now, which can just block, because this doesn't have trample, right? That's the one thing about Suicide Boo as well, is a lot of the cards don't give you trample. Some of them do, not a lot of them. So, yeah. Suicide Boo is basically just again, it's a prowess deck. It's a deck that's using creatures that get bigger when you play instant sorcery spells, and then you're just spewing out as many instant sorcery spells and cantrips, so stuff like Manamorphose, where you basically get to play the card and draw a card, so it's kind of like a free spell. You just play it, get mana, done. I guess with this one here, you could have actually grabbed, you probably did grab red and green, so you could play Mutagenic Growth without having to pay life. Let's go always yield, because I don't need to yield to this stuff. So one thing, if you're playing MTGO and you're trying to get faster, learning to set your always yields is a smart idea. So he's actually going to, is he going to make him bigger? Is he going to make it bigger? Nope, but he's going to do the Apostle's Blessing, so he gets protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. That's neat. Always yield to this guy as well. And I don't think we're going to attack in, because he's going to get protection from red. So he can just block any of these guys. So we will wait. We shall wait. I'm okay with waiting. And ship it to our opponent's turn. I'm not going to attack in. No point in attacking in otherwise. I mean, if we could attack in and kill our opponent, sure. But we have two creatures that can attack in. We have an Elemental and a Young Pyromancer. We'll clearly lose the Young Pyromancer if we attack in. So no point in doing that. No point at all. So next turn, we can always Electrolyze next turn as well. Electrolyze Kiln Fiend. Double damage to it. More if he plays... Look at this. Why, MTGO? Why do you do this to me? So he's playing another one of these creatures that he played last time, but it has Lightning Bolt in the art, which is incorrect. Why? I don't know why it does it. It's a little bit strange that way. Depending on what we draw, there's a bunch of options we have. I think Electrolyze is probably going to be the option we want to go with. I don't think he's going to attack in with Kiln Fiend, because Kiln Fiend just gets bigger in the attack department. Ooh, Giga Drowse. That's really fun, actually. That's really fun. Do you want to know how fun that is? If we play Niv Magnus Elemental, and then we play Giga Drowse for 3, and eat up all of those things, we get a really big Niv Magnus. Really big Niv Magnus. I mean, so big, in fact, that I am really excited to play it. The other thing we can do as well is tap down these guys, which is fun. Fun for me. We'll ship it to our opponent's turn. We're not going to attack in. We could attack in, theoretically, but... Actually, hold on. Do we attack in? Do we attack in and... No. I think we hold. I think we're going to hold because we're going to... We're going to do the Giga Drowse thing. And, yeah. We're just going to make a giant Niv Magnus. Because he doesn't have, like, full removal. He has, like, burn removal. So, why not... Why not Giga Drowse for a bunch? So let's see what our opponent decides he wants to do. It's kind of interesting. It's like a mirror match, except they're like similar style decks, but different. Because we're both trying to gain value off of playing instants and sorceries. It's really the idea of both of our new decks. We're just doing the blue-red version, and he is doing the mono-red version of it. Also with the one that takes damage. So again, stuff like Apostle's Blessing. You have to pay life. You can't pay mana unless he's played a Manamorphose before it. So... The other option we can do... Okay, so at this point, what do? Do I Giga Drowse? I think I Giga Drowse replicating. And we're going to replicate twice. Yes. So we're going to play 3 blue, 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 blue. And... Young Pyromancer, Giga Drowse. Yep. Now... We can choose new targets for this, and we can tap down all of his stuff, or we can have Niv Magnus. Same target. And then we're going to have Niv Magnus actually eat this spell. And Niv Magnus, eat the spell. And Niv Magnus, how about you eat the spell? Okay, so we have a 7-8 Niv Magnus. That's fun. I like that. And we draw into a Condescend, which is always fun. So, where do we go from here? I think we electrolyze double on Kiln Fiend, I guess? Yeah, why not? Double on Kiln Fiend. Blue, blue, red. See if our opponent decides to do anything in response as well, we can just eat the spell and make a bigger Niv Magnus, which is pretty fun, if you ask me. And then I think we attack in with everything. If he doesn't have a way of dealing with this, then we're just going to attack in with everything? I think, because it's going to be, what, 5. Has to block here. Okay. So our opponent is playing something in response. What is it? Okay, so he's going to give it protection from red, which means Niv Magnus can just eat the Electrolyze. Because why not? So it's Exile Instant Cell you control. So, hada! Congratulations, you played Apostle's Blessing for nothing! Okay. And do we swing with everything? I think we do. I think we just literally go ham. Well, not everything. We attack him with most everything. So, here we go. Let's... we'll get in 4 damage if we attack with all of these guys. I'm kind of okay with that, to be honest. Because we can still just chump block these guys. Yeah, I think we're going to go that way. So you and all 5 of you attack. Leave up these guys because they can still generate more elementals for us. Which is a thing. And he would obviously just block with this guy. So the Kiln Fiend is obviously going to block this guy. Because he has protection from red, so he just can block and protect all of the damage. Sure. And this guy will just kill one of the elementals. Still taking 4 damage. Putting our opponent to... what, 7? 6? 7? 7? Definitely 7. Math. 7. And going to our opponent's turn, we have lots of blockers. We have Condescend, which, in theory, if he plays anything, I will probably Condescend for 0, just so I can get Scry and hopefully draw into something we actually need, rather than potentially drawing into a land, which is not so fun. The nice thing about Condescend is you can theoretically play 0 for X and just get Scry 2. And Scry 2 isn't amazing. I mean, it does create elementals for us at this point, which is kind of fun. And wait, hold on. Can our opponent not die next turn? Nope, he definitely dies next turn. So we go to sideboard. So, unless he has a board wipe. So we need more removal stuff from our opponent. Yeah. So Vandal Blast, you are no good. Gut Shot. I think Gut Shot is quite good in this matchup. Because we can use it to blow up his little creatures. Dispels are very good. Vapor Snags. Is Vapor Snag any good in this matchup? Maybe. Oh. Your opponent has disconnected. Our opponent may have just dropped the game, by the way. It looks like our opponent... I guys got the message saying our opponent has disconnected. So this might turn into a storytime video instead. We're about to find out. I don't really want to turn into a storytime video. Counter target non-creature spell. We're definitely we're gonna sideboard as though we're actually going against it. So we don't need Ceremonious Rejection. Pyroplasms are okay, but they actually kill a lot of our stuff. If we're going against really wide like token decks, Pyroplasm's good. Crumble to Dust doesn't really help us out. Twisted Image. Switch our creature's power and toughness until end of turn. I actually think that's really good in this matchup. Because he's obviously playing Kiln Fiend, and Kiln Fiend doesn't get bigger in the health department, but he gets bigger in the attack department, so we can just flip it. We can use it as like a safety, really is what we're going to do. So, yeah. Condescend, take out a single Condescend. Actually, probably take out two Condescends. Electrolyze, you are also decent enough. You, though, you don't need to be in here. We don't need either of the Izzet Charms. Izzet Charms are not good enough in this matchup, so we're going to take them out. Spreading Seas, theoretically good enough, sort of. I mean, playing as a monocolor deck, so they're actually not that good. We can maybe slow him down like a half a turn, so might as well pull him out. Everything else, Vapor Snag is good. Faithless Looting is good just because it gets us more filtering. Niv Magnus, everything else is good. So we're going to submit it back, run her back like that, and we're going to see if our opponent actually comes back. At this point, I'm assuming our opponent will not come back, but you never know at this point. You never know. You absolutely never know. He may have been salty because he lost that game, and it was a tight game. It was a good game. Like, the game we just played is when I think of playing Magic, that's the kind of game I like to play. Things going back and forth. You're like, okay, what am I going to do this? What's my best line to play? So, yeah. So we are back, and we are doing story time now, because I don't think our opponent's coming back, but I don't really want to concede the game, so I will just, we'll do some story time instead. I played a bunch of games with this deck, so if you guys want to see more, just before we actually get too far into story time, if you guys do want to see more videos of this deck being played, there is a bunch of links. I'll put another link up in the top right-hand corner up here, so you can link up there, and there's a bunch of gameplay videos. I mean, the gameplay for this deck is actually quite fun and quite interesting. In the meantime, though, story time. Let's talk about... I need to make a list. That's every single time I do story time, which... Story time, for those that don't know, story time is whenever an opponent gets salty and drops, but they don't, like, concede the game. They just quit out of MTGO or whatever, or they do the thing where they're like, well, fine, if I'm not going to win, I'm not going to concede the game so it doesn't look like I've lost, and I'm just going to sit there, and I'm going to wait for you to time out. So they keep their stats on MTGO, or it looks like they do, but in reality they just got salty and decided to do the jerk move instead of being a chivalrous Magic player and saying, well, I'm just not going to win this game, I concede. They just wander off. So story time is whenever our opponent does that, instead of me dropping out, I take this time to talk to you guys about things that are going on, things that I think about, things that are things. So yeah, that's what story time's all about. And actually, this is the second story time for the Advent calendar, largely because, I mean, I get story time regularly, to be honest, because people do this all the time. This is not the first time, and it will definitely not be the last time. People just kind of get salty and leave. But when I'm doing the weekly videos, I actually generally just drop the video. We'll stop recording right now, and then I'll go and record a new video. I just would be like, okay, well, unfortunately I burnt, in this case, 20 minutes. Unfortunate, but it happens. Where in this case, I don't really have the time because I need to record videos for every single day. Plus, I'm working on recording the video for next Friday, so 1 week from now. Well, I guess not 1 week from now. 1 week from, like, 5 days from now, actually. So, so I'm working on recording that video, which is actually, for those, spoiler, for this will be what we'll talk about, that's actually a White Knights deck. So I did a poll on the Facebook group and in the Discord chat area. You get access to the Discord if you're a Patreon, by the way. And said, hey, what kind of decks do we want to play? What are people interested in? And we did a bunch of... I was going to do Tribal, because I haven't done a Tribal deck in a while. And Tribal decks are always very popular, so I'm like, oh, what Tribal do you want to do? And I made a big list. And people voted mostly for Knights. So I said, okay, well, let's do a Knights deck. Looking around, the best and budgetest way you can do Knights is by doing mono White Knights. So we are doing White Knights, which is, it's a fun deck. It's coming along quite well. I need to actually record those videos as soon as I finish this video, actually. It's probably what I'll start on. And then the deck after that, which is actually a deck that I'm very excited for, is going to be Jund Dragons. So it's a little bit more of a casual deck, but when it wins, or as soon if your opponent can't stop it, if your opponent has no way of stopping it, you're playing like 7-drop dragons on turn 4-5. It's absolutely crazy. And you're like, okay, well, how do you deal with my 6/6 flying dragon that does all this crazy stuff whenever you do anything? So it is it's a really, really fun deck. That deck is going to be a little bit of a different deck tech than normal, because my objective actually for next year, for the 2018 year, is to start knocking off as many, if not all, of the 3-color combination decks. And these decks will all be closer to like I'll do them as budget as humanly possible as a deck, but I'll also be doing this is what I recommend, and it'll be in the 150 to 180 range for price if you want to actually buy the deck with a competitively, or an efficiently working deck. The reason why I say this is because right now the Dragons deck, without a upgraded mana base, is like $55, maybe $60 tops. So for a 3-color deck, that's amazing. That's really good, but the deck loses to itself. Like I was saying in this video earlier, actually, it loses to itself like 1 in 3 times, where I need black mana on turn 2, and I have green and red mana, but I don't have black mana because I don't have fetch lands, and I don't have a way of fetching up that land, Or I need black mana and I have, say, an Evolving Wilds, and I'm like, okay, well, I can go fetch up my Swamp, but then I have to wait an entire another turn, and it just slows you down a lot. So that's kind of what the deck is really about right now, where it has the ability, the upgraded mana base has been working out quite well. I'm actually quite happy with it. There's some more expensive cards because I'm putting in a bunch of fetches, a bunch of shocks, just so the deck can play a little bit faster. Because I think if you were playing the full upgraded version of it, which is like a competitive, like almost no basic lands in the deck, the deck would be very fast and very good, and it would be not necessarily a turn 4 win, but a turn 4 your opponent needs to know how to stop you. Otherwise, you're gonna just totally destroy them. So this is what the deck's all about, and yeah. So as I was saying, the objective for 2018 is to try and get through as many, and I might be able to get through them all, maybe not. We're gonna see. I'm gonna try and get through as many of the 3-color combinations already. I already have one. I have Mardu already done because I have the Mardu Reanimator deck, which is I think a $200 some odd deck. So the 3-color decks are going to be pitched as not necessarily budget, but not super expensive either. And if you play Modern and you already have some of the lands, then it can save you a bunch. Because like majority of the time, the mana base is what it costs the most, because you need to put a bunch of lands that each cost $10 a piece to make the deck work properly and make it work fast and efficiently. So that is what's coming up, is Dragons, Jund Dragons, which is it's super funny. I'm not even going to tell you anything more about it other than the fact it is Jund Dragons. So it is, for people that I keep saying Jund Dragons, but I don't think there's some people out there that may not know what Jund is. Jund is the clan, I guess you can say clan, tribe, I guess, of green, black, and red. So it is going to be a green, black, red Dragons deck. So yeah, I'll let you guys guess what that's all about. If you're part of the Patreon group on the Discord, you've already seen the deck, because I shared. If you're interested in joining the Patreon group, there's some of the things you actually get access to. Is I share a lot of the decks I'm working on, ask for feedback, say what do you guys think of this, what do you think of this, and so you get access to a lot more of what's actually coming up and a lot of feedback into that. So I know a couple of guys were like, hey, we want to see this kind of deck. Actually, the tribes, all of the tribes were, because we got it down to 5 different tribal decks, different types of creature type decks, and that was all done by the people over on the Patreon supporter, our Patreon group, the Discord, where we sat down and said, well, what do we want to play? What tribes do we want to make decks around, and what tribes are even possible? Because at one point I was like, oh, we should make a ninjas deck, or no, sorry, back up. It was one of the guys said we should make a pirates deck, because you say ship it to your opponent a lot, and it'd be funny to do a pirates deck where you like and sail the ship to your opponent, yar, kind of thing. And so we started thinking, well, is it physically possible to make a pirates deck in Modern? And unfortunately, the answer is not really. I think there's like 2 pirate cards outside of Standard right now that are pirates. So we could make a pirates deck, but it's really going to be a standard pirates deck with some Modern cards as like the removal package kind of thing. So not really interested in doing that yet. We'll see if there's more stuff that comes out in the next Ixalan set, and see if we can't make a pseudo pirates deck where it's like, half the creatures. It'll be like the Hydra's deck, because the Hydra's deck is, in theory, it's a Hydra tribal deck, but there's a lot of other creatures that are not Hydras in the deck that work with the deck as well. So, the deck has a bunch of Hydras, and the deck, it has enough Hydras in it. You're like, you play Hydras every single game, but it's not necessarily only Hydras. There's other stuff to make that deck work as well. So it might be a pirate deck that is using kind of what the pirate tribe is designed to do, which I think is largely getting treasure and loot stuff, and basically getting free mana, getting free card draw. So we'll be building something around that at that point. I should move my mouse around so you guys know that it's not just this. I'm still here. We're just waiting for our opponent's clock to click down. Should actually go off pretty soon here. Usually the MTGO, which, this is something they need to fix. This is actually one of the things I'm looking forward to with Magic Arena, and this is something they do in Hearthstone, is your opponent, if their opponent's been inactive for, I think it's 30 seconds, they speed up the timer. The timer goes from, because in Hearthstone you have, I think it's 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes to do your stuff on your turn. And then if you are inactive for 30 seconds, it all of a sudden pushes your turn from being 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes to 15 seconds. So basically your opponent just burns through their turn 15 seconds and it goes to your turn, as though they just pass. And hopefully they'll do the same thing with MTGO, where if your opponent is not doing anything and stuff like this, then it just assumes that they accept their opening hand, they pass on all their stuff, and they ship it to your turn. I'd like to see that be what they do, where just bam, finishes through their turn and like, hey, well, it's my turn now. And you can keep playing out games and your opponent gets the loss, because stuff like this sucks. Like, this sucks when your opponent just decides they don't want to play. Okay, there we go, we won. Yeah, so it sucks when your opponent decides not to play, but we get to get a story time. Those people that do watch every one of these videos now knows what the next 2 deck techs are going to be coming up. So that'll be this upcoming Friday and then 2 Fridays after that. Until next time, my name is Adrian. This has been Izzet Delver, even though you barely saw the deck being played at all. Until next time, don't forget to game like a giant monster. Thanks for watching the GiantMonsterGames Advent Calendar. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe if you like this video and want to see more videos just like it. A huge shout out to all of the Patreon supporters. You guys are helping make videos like this, and if you want to pick this deck up, there is a link below with an affiliate link so you can grab this entire deck on MTGO.